These theories will make you question everything, and tonight's theories are based around simulation theory. So remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's check them out.
I made a video saying that reality is a matrix. And this kid was like, oh, well, science doesn't say that. Quantum physics says that.
Have you ever noticed how people who don't know anything about quantum mechanics always call it quantum physics? Maybe she's the exception here, so let's wait and see what her evidence is.
Einstein,
Nikola Tesla, Elon Musk.
Why is it always electrical engineers? This is actually a really common experience amongst professional scientists. It turns out that cranks, people who promote pseudoscience, etc., turn out to be engineers quite frequently, and even more frequently, electrical engineers. And it's not just me. Check out this clip from a lecture about the crank box.
Engineers are disproportionately represented in the box. And, of course, cranks.
The trouble with these engineers is that they're a perfect case study in the Dunning-Kruger effect. They learned a lot in college, so they know just enough to get themselves in trouble, but they don't know enough to know what they don't know. But engineer bashing aside, let's actually look at her claims. Einstein certainly wasn't a proponent of the simulation hypothesis or the matrix universe. He built his general theory of relativity off of the idea that our universe is smooth, that it has a manifold structure. Not really sure why she brought up Nikola Tesla. He was an inventor, not a scientist. And Elon Musk is just Jesus for tech bros, so why should we care what he thinks?
every single thing is made up of energy.
Oh, look at bro stepping in to rain on our conspiracy theory parade, bro. Let us have our fun. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be stepping in to be so serious right now. Let us have our fun and entertainment with these conspiracy theories that has our minds wondering. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. We do take some of it serious, a lot of it serious, maybe more than we should, but it is what it is. Let us have our entertainment and look into this stuff and peel back the curtains. I bet if we find something, y'all won't be upset then that we were looking, would you? Goodness, bro, they be coming in so serious.
You should swallow one piece of gum every 7 years. Okay, so we all know we live in a big simulation, right? Everything around us is computer generated, right? But there's one thing that isn't part of the simulation. That's gum. Gum is weird. You chew it. You could just chew forever. That's because gum comes from outside of the simulation. Gum is real. Okay, so you also know if you swallow gum, it stays in your system for 7 years. And every cell in your body changes every 7 years, right? And the 7-year itch, you change personalities every 7 years. That's because every 7 years, they come from the outside, and they take you away and put a whole new you in there, and they can change you any way they want. But if you swallow the gum, then they can't, because the gum locks you in place, because the gum is real. Gum is their weakness. Swallow one piece every 7 years. Any more than that, you might get a stomach ache, but one piece you should swallow one piece.
I ain't gonna lie, he makes me nervous, bro. And it's kind of like he need to go outside, maybe get a little bit of fresh air, bro. You know what I mean? Take some time, go out and shake hands with some people, man. Have some real human interaction, something. But he makes me nervous, bro. Now, to his whole gum theory, once you get past the exterior antics, the gum theory, I've never heard. I've always been told, and I'm not trying to say he's wrong in this. I'm just saying I was always told not to swallow gum. Never given an explanation other than it felt like they were just trying to scare the bejesus out of me. You know what I mean? But adults and parents, they tend to do that when they don't want you to do something. You know what I mean? They try to give you some outlandish reasoning why, or some super scary reason why to scare you away from it. So I've heard of that, but changing your cells so it's like a new human every 7 years or something like that is brand new to me. And gum is real, so it's outside of the simulation. I don't know about this dude here.
They're not moving? What the Why aren't they moving? Babe, that's trippy. Like, they're all stuck. Hold on, wait. I want to show. They're literally all frozen. Now they're moving, babe. What the? What the?
Now, I've heard of people saying that some fish sleep, and we actually looked at some different species of fish, or one fish that sleeps in, like, you know what I mean, like vertically. and just sleeps. They're still moving a little bit, sort of like them are. These fish are here, but they sleep vertically, and it's weird when you see it, but they're actually doing that. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, that doesn't kind of look like it, but how do you know? The eyes are open, but they could sleep with their eyes open, or they could be in shock. Maybe it's something going on with the water, the tank, the environment. Something could be happening, or maybe it could be a sign. You know what I mean? I always believe that animals pick up on catastrophic events before we do. They can kind of almost predict them happening before they happen. I always believe in that. Like dogs can get a sense of, or other animals can get a sense of maybe an earthquake or maybe something before it happens. So maybe that may be a sign of some of that. I don't know. I know it would freak me out and look weird too. I would have had to pull my camera out.
Wrong.
These birds are floating. These birds are not on the... I can't see them. What is going on?
What is this? What is this? They're floating.
We're in the Matrix.
They're literally on nothing. They're floating.
I'm so scared. Oh my gosh. There's not a wire there.
They're floating birds. Floating. They're just floating. First glitch in the Matrix I've seen. Wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if they like on some type of fishing line or something, but I see that. At this point, I just need to drive until I just run out of gas, fill up, and just keep driving until I come to a different destination that looks normal, bro. Because if there was ever any doubt that we're in a simulation, you see stuff like that, you automatically gonna believe we're in a simulation. What are you telling me? How are you telling me otherwise when I see birds in between the power line? They're not on the power line. They're in between it, just floating, sitting there. Nah, bro. That ain't something I woke up to see this morning. I didn't wake up for that. I didn't want to deal with this. No, man. That make you want to go back to bed.
Alexa, what day is it?
It's Saturday, January 2nd.
When does 2020 end?
2020 ends on December 31st, 2020 in 3 days.
Huh. Anybody else's Alexa do that? Alexa.
At that point, she can no longer live with me. She gotta go, man. I'd have opened the window and I'd have threw her out like a frisbee or a football pass, bro. She had to go. There's certain requirements to be able to live with me, and talking like that, yeah, she'd have definitely had to go. But hey, we survived it.
Proof that we live in a simulation. I have literally found my simulation twin. Like, we were cut from the same cloth, made from the same template, whatever you want to call it, because she is living my life out in California. Some background info. So I live in Houston, Texas. My simulation twin, her name is Caroline. She lives in California, and we've known each other for a while because we both grew up in Dallas, and so we have a lot of mutual friends. But it wasn't until recently where we discovered how similar and how eerily similar our lives are. So this is my family right here. I'm actually Korean, and I'm married to a Taiwanese man, and he is a tech entrepreneur. He started several tech companies and he develops software. So our kids, we have 3 kids. They're obviously half Taiwanese, half Korean. I have Cameron. She is the oldest. She's 8 years old. Jordan, he is my middle child. And then my son, Atlas, he is 11 weeks old. So this is Caroline's beautiful family, and Caroline is Korean like I am, and she's also married to a Taiwanese man who happens to be in tech, and a lot of Asians are in tech, so that's not that big of a deal. But she has 3 kids, and her oldest is a girl, and then it's followed by 2 boys, just like me. And the age difference between her kids are the same as mine. So her daughter is named Charlotte. My daughter is named Cameron. Her middle son is named Jacob. My son is named Jordan. So yeah, it's not the same name, but it starts with the same letter. And then her youngest is named Chance. And while my son is named Atlas, she actually messaged me saying that Atlas was one of the names that they were considering because her son, her middle son, apparently likes maps a lot. And Atlas is not like a common name. Like no one I know is named Atlas. So the fact that she was considering that name is crazy. So we're both the oldest in our family. I have a sister. She has a brother. So my sister Nina, she went to Pratt Art School in New York. If you know Pratt, it's like a very small, hard to get into art school in New York. And her brother went to Pratt. So my husband is the only child, the golden son, and he unfortunately lost his father to cancer a couple years ago. And my simulation twin, her husband is also the only child, and he lost his mother to cancer the same year. And we both drive a minivan, and not only just a minivan, but we drive the Toyota Pacifica hybrid minivan. And what's crazy is like, I actually got this minivan as part of a collab with Driveway. So the fact that she owns that is crazy. To me, this is not a coincidence. Like, we have way too many similarities and very specific similarities. And I really feel like we were like made from the same template, character template for this simulation. But I don't know, call me crazy. What do you guys think?
That's crazy to think like somebody could generally be sitting there and create us like a creative player in a video game. Height, weight, you know what I mean? Appearance, hair, color, different things like that. That's crazy. She calls it a simulation twin. Is that kind of like a doppelganger? Like doppelganger? I like that word for some reason. Doppelganger. But is that similar? Is that what she's saying? Is that her doppelganger? Do y'all believe that we have a doppelganger? Everyone has a doppelganger, someone that looks just like them living a similar life. Not in another universe though. In this universe, here on Earth, do we have that type of simulation twin or doppelganger? That word, doppelganger. That's interesting. And then she even had like the stones to go meet the person. That's a little bit too, that's too far for me because I don't know, man. What if you get in the same room and something happened? There's a glitch in y'all's simulation, matrix, whatever you want to call it, and you throw things off, or man, you find out something. And then that's gonna bother you and add added stress. What if she'd have found out something about her simulation twin that was like, I don't know, like something death-wise. Like she was facing that, like, what is, so then you start worrying, okay, am I about to go through this too? Because she's going through it and we have so many similarities. Yeah, I might want to leave that over there.
Footage that I booked on Airbnb. If you go in the closet, they have these books all in here, but they have a couple DVDs down here. And there's only 4 of them here, okay? So here's the DVDs. Ronin, Sahara, and Hardball. This last one's some old movie, okay? So let me prove that we are in a matrix here. So these movies here are from like the year 2000. They're all old ones. They're not even that popular, right? So I go on my Netflix. Well, it's not my Netflix. It's the person who owns this cottage. Go to the trending page, okay? So if I scroll over on trending page, watch what happens. There's the movie Hardball, which they have, okay? Number 1. Let's keep going. Oh, look, Sahara. That's the other movie that's down there, right? Now let's keep going, see if there's anything else on here. Oh, Ronin, which this is a different Ronin movie, but it's the same spelling as this one here. Ronin, Hardball, Sahara, okay? So what's going on here? So literally 4 DVDs. What's the chances that they're all on the trending page? The trending page only has like 30 movies on here. Most of these are old. This movie is from 2013. Sahara is from 2005, which is even older. And the movie Hardball, I believe, is 2001, which is even older. Let's see. Hardball, 2001. So what's the chances those three movies just happen to be on the trending page of all things? Are we in the Matrix? Does this prove it? Figure out why the universe wants me to look into these three movies. I've never seen any of them. So when you look at the back of them, it gets interesting. This one is about a new world order and goes further in detail. Just one connect there. And then this movie here is about the ultimate treasure hunt. You know, I think they end up finding treasure and they end up investigating and finding all that good stuff. And then Hardball, this movie's about a guy who runs like a baseball team and he does sports betting. So I think it's very interesting that this movie's about sports betting, this one's about finding treasure, and this one is about New World Order, mercenaries, whatever. And you combined all three of them, it's kind of like gematria, finding treasure, sports gematria, betting, you know, exposing New World Order. Is this why I'm showing these three DVDs here? Also, another side fact is my mother-in-law thinks I look like Matthew McConaughey, so I thought that was kind of funny. He happens to be on that case. He happens to be in the movie The Matrix, which is another connect. No, this looks like footage that I booked on Airbnb.
Listen, I wouldn't necessarily say this has anything to do with, and it could very well be, all right? But I would more so accredit this to Netflix and their marketing and their ways of figuring out what people want to watch or what they watch and show them things similar. Like, you know what I mean? I get what he's trying to say in relation to the whole simulation thing, but to me, this is more so a tribute to or a credit to Netflix. Bro, these things study you, and don't for one second that I don't think I think they're listening. I do think they're listening. Just like our phones, they're constantly listening. Your Alexas, you know what I mean? They're listening to you. And they use the information to figure out how they can keep you on their streaming platform. And the owner of the Airbnb probably watched several movies similar to those movies. He probably did a search for those movies, those specific movies that you just found. So, of course, as soon as they get an opportunity to present it to him to keep him on the platform, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. So, yeah, I don't think this one goes into much of, I wouldn't lose any sleep over the simulation and matrix theory, more so than Netflix just good at what they do.
Yes, I know that I am high right now, but look at this lady. She is hitting a tennis ball against absolutely no surface, and it's just bouncing back to her. Like, look at it. How is it doing that?
I think it's on a string. That's what I was trying to see. Can anybody else see it? I think it's on a string, so you're able to hit it to where it comes right back to you and you're just practicing on, you know what I mean, your technique. That's what I think that is.
Look, I'm about to do y'all a favor. If you haven't yet, go watch this movie. It's called The Giver. And then come back to this comment section and let me know what you think about it. You can pause it and read the description if you want. Basically, it's about this community in the future. It's completely isolated from the world. They have no memory of the past. They don't teach history, no records of history. All they know is this community that's been built for them. And in this community, you gotta be nice 24/7. You can't disrespect no one. You always gotta be polite. You gotta take a shot, an injection every morning to numb your emotions and to make you just a little more docile, a little more like an NPC. And they already had their lives picked out for them. So when you turn 18, you could be a nurse, you could be a drone pilot, you could be a birth. What? You basically you give birth to the new people that come in the community. Crazy shit. You're the community mom, basically. Or your job can be a receiver of memory. So once you're a receiver of memory, you're considered an elder. And as the elder, everybody in your district of the community comes to you for wisdom and advice. That's all I'm going to say about the movie, though. If the comment section demands my perspective, then I'll talk about it. But I want y'all to watch it, then give me y'all perspective, because there's a lot to unpack about this movie. That's why I'm posting it. Look, I'm about to do...
The Giver. I'm going to write that down. Go check that out. I wonder when it came out. This sounds a lot like Divergent to me as well. You ever seen Divergent? I ain't really a fan of it because I think Queen has wore it out. Like, we go to sleep to it so much that sometimes if I can't sleep, she'll turn it on and it'll put me right to sleep. Divergent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I didn't get into it, but she loves it. You know what I mean? But that's what this sounds like to me. And we could potentially be living like that in the future. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Or they could hit the reset button, and that's how things could start out. If life starts over again. Interesting. The Giver.
Every human being that you don't know on a personal level is not real. They're all NPCs and you can say whatever you want to them. Watch this. Hey, how's it going? Just here to drop off coupons. Perfect. Sweet. Did you hear the big news? What's the news? Danny DeVito got an OnlyFans account.
He did nothing.
Yeah.
So much money.
$25 a month. I'll tell you right now, it is worth the money.
Is it really?
Oh, that man is short and thick. All right, have a good Monday night, huh?
What?
It's 11:30 in the morning on a Thursday. I didn't even give him coupons. Give him the instruction manual for my vacuum.
Why do you have to pull Danny DeVito into this, man? Danny ain't bothering nobody, bro. I don't know, man. This makes me think of like I Am Legend, except with people on the planet still. You know what I mean? But you're walking around, but you're the only one. You're the only one in this simulation. Everybody else is just a character. Like a character in your movie. What if that's the case, man? And we're doing all of this and we're stressing ourselves out for nothing. The day-to-day life stresses, different things like that, man. For nothing. What if that's what we're doing in this simulation?
Guy, I'm like, this is just too much. And then when Trump won, I just was sitting down going, imagine if one day someone shuts it off and the lights dim and then they turn back on and you realize, well, the game's over. How did you like it? And you're like, what? That was fake? Yeah, you just went, it only took an hour. How long did it seem? Like 50 years, you know? And yeah, you're in a simulation with artificial memories implanted into your mind. Well, the one day that the idea is that there's going to be an artificial reality or a virtual reality that's so good that it's indistinguishable. I mean, this is almost inevitable. If technology increases at the same rate that it's increasing now, whether it's 50 years from now or 100 years from now, we're going to reach some point in time. So the real question is, when we do reach that, how will we know?
Oh, what if we're already there?
Yes.
What if it is a simulation?
Yes.
How would we know? And how do we
know?
test it?
Yeah, how do we test it?
I would be furious, mad. Like they gonna have to keep me strapped to whatever chair they got me strapped to, bro. They better keep me strapped there for days, man, and figure out a way to calm me down and everything like that. If you wake up one day and they're like, so, how was it? What do you mean, how was it? The life. The life? Yeah, the simulation life you were just in. The one you were going through. That was you mean everything I went through? School, college, marriage, ups and downs, car accidents, different things, emotions, loss of life from a family, the loss of my mom, all that stuff you put me through, and this was a simulation, I would be furious, bro. And then, like he said, you ask them, and they be like, so how long was I in there? And they be like, oh, only an hour. But to you, it probably felt like 30-something years or 40 or however old you are. And you're like, that was only an hour? Life cannot be this cruel. But could it be? How would you feel? That's some cruel stuff. I'm ending it on that note right there, bro. That's cruel, cruel, cruel. This is a cold. That would be the true definition of this being a cold world. Oh man, listen, man. Y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what you thought of this video, bro. And stick around and stay tuned, man. Until next one, I'm gone.